Johnny
What does he
Rose.
say?
Wow.
Tweet us on, not tweet us on tweeters.
On Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter.
Like us on Twitter.
Like us on Twitters.
My name's Emily. I'm one of the co-founders of ATX TV. We are so excited that you are here joining us for Schitt's Creek trivia. If you have not rewatched Schitt's Creek on Hulu yet, you should do that after trivia. If you are new to an ATX TV event, we celebrate television all year long.
So I think those are all the things, but I do know to get this thing started, we definitely need a little music.
Which of David's beauty tools does he selfishly take with him when he leaves town?
Correct answer, hair straightener. He took his own hair straightener. Alexis did not like that.
The flat iron so he could get ready to do the number.
When this person showed up in Schitt's Creek, she refused to stay at the motel and instead treated herself to a junior suite at the Comfort Inn in Elmdale.
It was
Michelle Obama.
Moira's sister, Dee Dee.
Alexis owed David a yoga class after he had to pick her up in this Middle East city way back in 2010.
I thought this was a tough one. It is Dubai.
How many times has Alexis plugged in a hairdryer with wet hands?
She has done that not once, but twice.
How many made-for-TV motion pictures has Moira been shortlisted for?
Seven made-for-TV motion pictures that she was shortlisted for.
What time did David intend for game night to come to an end?
10 o'clock is what time games night is supposed to end.
Moira was working at a gas station when the director of this musical discovered her.
Shout out to the misspelling that I already corrected, Cabernet.
Cabernet, that should get extra points.
Johnny confused the engraver, and they ended up with what words etched into Moira's garden sign?
All right, correct answer, the Moira's Roses Garden, and then the last four digits of Johnny's credit card.
Moira's rendition of this song had funeral goers asking for an encore.
Ashley, what's the song?
Anymore. No, I will not take that. You did that, but it's so good.
Okay, y'all. So we're going to, in this little interlude, I did get to speak to Richard Waugh this week, Herb Ertlinger himself. Am I saying that right? I cannot, and I've only had a few sips of wine. But he answered some of my burning questions. So I'm going to play that video for you to watch while you're repouring your wine, going to the bathroom, meditating, doing some yoga on all your Schitt's Creek knowledge. Do you remember when you first heard about the show Schitt's Creek and what your first impression of it was?
I did. And the moment that I did remember the first time I heard about Schitt's Creek being made, and my strongest memory was it was Eugene and Catherine. It's going to be amazing.
Do you remember filming the first episode?
I do.
What do you remember about that? About just even being on set, and I mean, it's the first season. No, I don't believe anyone probably had seen any episodes at that point.
No, I hadn't. I remember walking by Annie and Dan. They were sitting at a table over there, and they were very welcoming. And I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And I don't know who those people are, but they're very friendly. And then being a nervous wreck meeting Eugene and Catherine. And they were great, very welcoming. And then I seem to remember that I made Catherine laugh, and I immediately relaxed, and everything seemed like it was going to be okay. And then when we were one of the last things we shot was Catherine doing the commercial for Herb and screwing up his lines, and she started with a hi, and that tickled my funny bone, and I had to like bite my tongue every time she went hi because I would start giggling off camera.
In watching that, did you have any idea how iconic that scene would become?
No, I didn't. I get recognized for Herb more than anything else I've played, and I've been doing this for like 40 years.
You were on season 1 and season 6, which is pretty awesome. Was there a difference in being on set season 1 and the feel of just being on set and how everyone was in season 6?
I was equally as nervous going back, but everybody treated me like I'd just been there yesterday. And Eugene and I were kind of the only 2 old guys on set, so we ended up sort of sitting in a corner together between scenes, and that was lovely. That was just sitting and chatting with Eugene Levy was a highlight of my career.
What was it like watching them go from being Eugene and Catherine into Johnny and Moira?
Well, the transformation from Catherine to Moira is slightly larger than the transformation from Eugene to Johnny. So I was delighted to watch Catherine switch on a dime moving onto camera. That was delightful.
What about watching as a David and Moira go from being sober wine tasters to very drunk wine tasters?
It was great. It was very, very funny. And all I wanted to do was help the humor, like just help that and not get in the way of it in any way.
I was about to say, the best way, I think, to help the humor, which you did, is to stay as frustrated and straight faced as possible, and have no idea how you did that.
It was not easy. It was not easy on either episode with them. Dan kept making me laugh. It was funny because the first time I was on, it was Catherine who would catch me, and when we were doing the wine tasting in season 6, it was Dan that would catch me off guard.
And then a few quick questions. Do you have a favorite Schitt's Creek moment?
Well, I'm going to be selfish and say Moira doing Herb's commercial.
You know, I think that's many people's favorite, so it's not even because you were in it.
I heard that Annie had tried to get a whole bunch of people to try and just do the Herb Ertlinger while drunk, and that would have been great. That would have been very funny to watch different people say Herb Ertlinger drunk.
It is very hard to say. Even practicing for this, I was like, Herb Ertlinger. So
Herbert Ertlinger, Herb Ertlinger, Herbert Ertlinger.
And then finally, Herb is a huge Sunrise Bay fan. Do you have any soaps that you're a fan of, or other TV shows that you want to mention?
I was a big fan of Coronation Street for a while, and I broke that habit eventually. I eventually broke the habit of Coronation Street on Sunday mornings.
I love it. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
It was so much fun to talk to him. Again, I think I mentioned this earlier. We had him read a number of questions so he could jump in and, be our special guest. And as soon as we finished, I had him read all of them and then was like, okay, thank you so much. And he goes, wait, are you not going to give me the answers? So grateful for everyone for participating. Any final words, y'all?
Thank you so much for having me. This was like the best night ever.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. See you at ATX TV Fest.
Woo! ATX! Woo!